Hi, I'm doing a tag response for the awesome, fantastic Dave Nicholson Axmoose. This is his last Saturday's 7-question tag. Moving on to number 1. What makes you angry and why? A lot of things makes me angry. I am going to go with cruelty to animals. I cannot understand how anybody can have an animal and they are cruel to it. Gets me all the time, and I feel that those people is the scum of the earth. Moving on. What is the most valuable life lesson you've learned from your parents? I've learned a lot from my parents when they was alive, but I'm going to go with to be yourself and to be happy and sort everybody who tries to bring you down. Yeah, I'll go with that. Moving on. What does love feel like? Tell you honest truth, it's a good question, a very hard question, and unless you have two people who is in love with one another, considerably love each other to bits, then nobody can actually answer this question. But what I feel is, you look at some people who walks with each other holding hands as they walk. That to me indicates they love one another. They feel each other by just holding hands, walking up, smiles on their faces. That to me is love. But if you've got to have two people in the right mind of loving one another. Me personally, I never had that in life. Me personally, I loved my partner with all my heart. But if you have not got that love back, then you haven't been loved. You've got to have both of you together. One loves one and the other one loves the other. You've got to have it. It's no good being that far apart or that far apart. You've got to be with each other year after year after year, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and you walk up the town, or you're sitting down having a cup of coffee, communicating with each other, smiling with each other, holding hands, even at a table. Hands on the table, and they just cannot be apart. That to me is love. Yeah. Moving on. What are your favourite simple pleasures? Simple pleasures. I suppose I could say my smokes gives me a pleasure to relieve the stress. Simple enough. Yeah. So I'm going to go with that. Moving on. If you could go back in time and tell your younger version of yourself one thing, what would you tell? Do not trust anybody as far as you could throw them. Because if you do trust people and you feel that you can trust somebody, it will kick you right back in the ass. So do not trust anybody, friends, family, whoever, as far as you could throw them. That's what I would say. Yeah. Moving on. What do you do to deliberately impress others? I do not. I do not try my hardest to impress anybody. It doesn't work. If you try to impress somebody, it doesn't work. So what's the point in trying? Me personally, I do not. No. Moving on to number 7 and last. What will you never do? Interesting question. Could mean many things. Like, where would you never go? Say, for argument's sake, well, I always wanted to go to Egypt, to go down the River Nile to see different periods. I'm never going to do that because I'm too old and I haven't got the money. Also, I could turn around and say, I would never get married again. I will never ever have a partner again, because as far as I'm concerned, I've been there twice. Both times ended exactly the same way. Partner went off with somebody else, and that's where my trust issues come, and I'm not looking because of that. Anyway, Dave, there's your 7 question tag done. Thanks for watching. God bless. Take care.